Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I am just going to do a very simple double layered beanie for you guys, and I'm going to be using this. Now I saw this, it's called I Love This Yarn. I saw it on one of the channels in America, so I had to look online and I was able to get some. So that's the details of it. That's how much it was, $3.99, $3.99. Can't remember how much I paid for it. Anyway, so lots of people had raved about how good this yarn was, so I was able to get some. So I thought, right, okay, let's do a video on this. So I'm going to do a simple 2-layer brim beanie with a lovely red pom-pom, or you could use a blue pom-pom, wherever. But I've got this lovely red faux fur pom-pom that I'm going to use with it. And we're going to be using the Addi Express, the 46 needled Addi Express. Clamp it to the table. Work my way around to the first black needle on this machine. And what I like about this yarn is that you can take it out from the middle. So I really like that. It's very hard sometimes to find balls of wool. In the UK we call it wool. So whether it's natural wool or synthetic wool, in the UK we call it wool. So anyway, so I'm going to call it yarn because it's for yarn. Anyway, so I'm going to take the yarn out. And I'm just going to leave 1 width long tail. Put it underneath the first black peg. So once I've taken it around the first peg, I'm going to turn the crank slowly and wrap it around each peg as it pops up. And concentrate. Once the black peg starts to pop up, you should be around the back of the last white needle. If you're not, you've gone wrong, and go back. Open up the yarn guide, fit it in, and close it up. Once, just hold on to it with a little bit of tension and just crank it to the first click. Then I always reset then to 0. So this is the newer model of the Addi Express, that they've gone back to using a manual counter than a digital one, because I'd seen so many videos on people saying that the digital one with static just goes haywire and doesn't work properly. So I'm glad that I've got this one with the manual counter. It's much better. So we're on 0, and I'm going to crank out 120 rows using this. That's it, 120 rows for an adult double layer brim beanie. So for the first row, you go really slow. It sounds a bit clinky clanky, but it's okay. And then you will notice that it starts to get easier. Still take it slow. And then you can start to speed up a little, just making sure that you've got the right tension. And then you can really start to crank it out. So this yarn is quite thick, but the machine handles it really well. You can slightly hear it, but it has no problems at all with this thickness of yarn. So I've got the ball of wool on the floor coming out from the center, and I'm using my fingers as a tension guide, and I'm literally just slightly holding on to it with not much tension at all, just to, if you see you can't see, hang on a second, let me put you down here. So as I'm holding it, even if I did it this way, the wool coming up from the floor, I'm just stopping it from getting too loose and bouncy, which can knock the stitches off. So I just hold it just to guide it. It's like driving a manual car and finding the clutch. You sort of like, you get used to it. It's really weird to explain when they talk about tension, but you just gotta feel it, not hold it tight, but stop it from jumping. Because if you let it loose, it can jump the pegs and then you drop stitches. So just keep light tension on it before you start turning. Okay, so I've stopped here because I've come across a knot in the yarn. So what I have been doing is taking the yarn out of the yarn guide and then just slowly, manually putting it under the pins until it's past, and then popping it back into the yarn guide and then going really slow just to make sure I go past that knot. It's coming up here and it's not going to cause me any issues. Okay. Okay, so I've just hit 119. Wait for it to click for 120. Now this is going to be the 120th row, so take it slow until you see the first black needle pop up, and then that's it. So once I've done that, I can take the yarn out of the yarn guide, and because I'm going to be doing just a simple beanie, I don't need much. 2 across is normally fine, just for sewing it together. Okay, so hold your yarn gently and turn the crank. And you can go as far around as you want, but I normally do just a quarter. I prefer using this metal needle for casting off. So that is the one that you're connected to, so you need to start on this one, which is marked number 1. Even though I am right-handed, I prefer to cast off with my left hand. It's probably because I grew up in a house where everyone was right-handed but my mum. And of course she would do everything left-handed. So, like cutlery and stuff. So I'm pretty good at using my left hand for stuff. Ooh, I didn't catch all of that. Stitch. There we go. Whew. Okay, so that I turn it into the way that I'm going to just stretch it out. This yarn is really beautiful yarn to work with. It's really soft, and it just works really well with the machine. Okay, so I'm going to take this end and I'm going to grab it all and pull it through. And then even it up a bit. And then stretch it out a little bit. And that is what it's going to look like with the brim. And then if you wanted a brimless one, then you can obviously make it shorter. But I like making the brimmed ones. And then I grab the yarn and I pull it through. And you kind of like twist it out a little. And then pull it a bit more. Twist it, pull it out a little bit. Rub it between your fingers. And again, just work it until you get what I call the cat's bottom. Tight. And then do the same with the outside. Pull it in. Twist it around, pull it around. Once you've done one of these, you've done a couple of them, you'll be fine. Just pull it round. And then use the inside thread then to line up both holes. And then, once you feel you've got them lined, take the top of the 2 layers and give it a shake out. And that helps. Okay, so we've got quite a bit of yarn here, so I'm going to cut some off. And gently tie them together. Don't tie it too tight. What I try to do is, if you've got, before you start, have a go at pulling the yarn to feel the tension of it on a piece of it, just so it gives you an idea of not to pull too hard. Double knot, that's it. Shake it out. Now I can give it a proper two-handed shake out, even out all the stitches. And there you have a basic style beanie, but we're going to make this with a pom-pom. So on these pom-poms, I look for the white elastic, hold on to it, shake the pom-pom, and then sort of like brush back the fur, like so. And I try to wrap this round once, twice, three times. Thread my yarn through. And then take it through the center. Now with your finger on the inside, you can feel the other center, so you can kind of feel where it's going through. And then just flip the hat so that you can see that's where the needle's coming through. That's fine. And just pull your needle through. Just give it a shake. Have a look and see what's going on underneath there, so there's not tons of clump. And then you can pull it through. And you should then start seeing some of the white elastic come through. And then I sew it up then crisscross like a hot cross bun under the elastic. Across that way. Across that way. Cross through that way again. Pull it tight. And just do that again. And there we go, that's everything secured. I'm going to take this longer one that I got from the Centro, because I find this really good for hiding tails. And I find where I can hide it the most conspicuous. Put the needle in between the 2 layers of the yarn, of the beanie. I'll try and go down as far as I can. Thread it. Pull it through. Snip off the excess. turn it back inside out and pray that it looks good. Okay, let's go for the big reveal and see how it looks on a head. So today's model is Juanita Josefina Linné, which was the name of my grandmother. Juanita Josefina Linné, but Linné. And Juanita is modeling this beautiful faux fur topped simple beanie with the I Love This Yarn brand, which I really like, but it's quite hard to get in the UK and quite expensive. So my next trip to America is going to come back with a suitcase full of this. So I've got yarn left. I want to see how much I can get from the rest of the ball of wool. Okay, so I got Penelope Cruz. She is modeling the second hat with the white faux fur pom-pom. Penelope, darling, you look amazing. So Juanita and Penelope. So I was able to do 140 rows in this. Sorry, 120 rows in this and 42 rows in that. So in one ball of wool, in wool skeins of yarn, as you guys called it, I got 1 1/4 hats. But I have another 2 or 3 balls of yarn, so I was able to finish this off, so this was 120 as well. But I really do like this yarn. Let me get into my box, because I've got this one, which is the metallic, which is a blue and metallic. I'm just waiting for the white fur, faux fur single layer eyelash yarn to arrive, and then I will make some of this, and I will be doing like what I have in this pile over here that I was making today. I haven't put together yet with the faux fur. So yes, we got a big box, ginormous box of yarn to get through for making all of the hats. And if I just bring in the other models. So here we have Rue, and Rue is modeling blue with the blue faux fur pom-pom. Michelle has got a very simple, plain kind of like fisherman beanie, suitable for a man or a woman, but that is made for a man. Thank you, Michelle. And here we have Dorothy, and Dorothy has got a beanie that I have crocheted the top together on. So this one is specifically made for a woman with long hair or curly hair, but a lot of hair that wants to come out of the beanie, but still sort of like keep the head and the ears warm. And then I'll be making some of these as well with a smaller hole for a ponytail. But this one is made for maybe, I don't know, a lady with very curly hair that wants to show off her beautiful hair. And yeah. And so there we have it. So there we go. That's it. Thank you for watching and joining me today. This video I made specifically for my friend Bobo. You know who you are. Who really has recently got one of these kinds of machines, a Centro. And yeah, so I said I'd promise I'd make a video and actually speak in it while I make them this time. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.